Hi, and welcome back to Reflect Forward. I'm your host, Kerry Siggins, and I'm so glad you are here today. So, today I'm kicking off a three-part series of what I'm calling a leader's playbook for a radically evolved future. I wanted to end the year this way to hopefully inspire you to think about how you want to lead in 2025 and beyond, because things are going to be different, as we know. As we navigate 2025, we are clearly living through a period of profound transformation. Technology is accelerating, societal priorities are shifting, and businesses are expected to lead with purpose just as much as profits, which, of course, I'm a huge fan of because our goal is to create 1,000 millionaires through employee ownership. And our purpose, it just rings true through everything we do, whether that's helping our customers go home safely to their families every night, to creating a really fantastic place to work where people can thrive and generate wealth. And so we are a very purpose driven company, and we focus on that just as much as we focus on our profits. And I think that these changes demand a new kind of leadership, and one that thrives by not just adapting to the future, but actively shaping it. So, in this three-part series of the Leader's Playbook for a Radically Evolved Future, I'll take you on a journey to explore key traits that will define success in the years ahead, at least from my perspective. So, in part one, we're going to uncover the mindset shifts required to lead beyond the limits, fostering radical curiosity and bold thinking. In part two, we're going to focus on human connection, trust, and empathy that can become your most powerful asset in a tech driven world, because let's face it, we need those skills as technology is becoming more integrated into our daily lives. And in part three, we're going to focus on legacy, what you're leaving behind, and how you can align your leadership with purpose and create that lasting impact that transcends profits and really makes you a leader worth following. So, what I didn't want this series to be is about recycled leadership tropes that we've all heard and roll our eyes at, or surface level strategies. It really is about stepping into a new era of leadership with courage, with clarity, and with an unwavering commitment to make a difference. So, let's get started. So, part one of the Leader's Playbook for a Radically Evolved Future is called the Visionary Mindset, Leading Beyond Limits. So, as I said in my intro, the business world is teetering on the edge of unprecedented change. So, technology advancements are rewriting the rules, AI is reshaping everything, societal shifts are reshaping our priorities, and it's clear that this old leadership playbook doesn't apply. For those of you who are ready to thrive, it really belongs to you if you are a visionary leader, one who's willing to really not just push the limits, but break the limits, to question assumptions and to step boldly into the unknown. The days of incremental improvement are over. They really are. And if that's all that you're focused on, you are going to get left behind. You must evolve beyond problem solving into possibility shaping. So here's how you do it. First, you have to obsolete the old playbook. The rules that we all played by no longer work in today's leadership or business world. For decades, leadership was measured by efficiency, predictability, and growth. But in this era of exponential technology, social upheaval, climate crisis, these metrics feel, I don't know, old school. What worked yesterday will not equip you to navigate the ambiguity of tomorrow. And I will tell you, there is so much ambiguity. You have to really be ready to pivot. Those who are going to be the most successful are going to be the ones who not just adapt, but who can really peer around the corner and anticipate what's going to happen and push the limits, to be inspired by what's possible and think about how that shapes your business model, how that shapes how you lead, how you go to market, what kinds of technologies and services you develop. To move forward, you really have to leave behind the safety of what you know. And I know that that can be really scary. We are doing that at Stone Age right now. Our core business is really important to us, but we are driving technology within our industry. And it's so scary to let that go. But we know that technology is the future. We know in an industry where it's already hard to find labor, it's only going to get tougher. Technology is going to be the solution to these issues. And that's where we have to invest. But it's so hard to leave the core behind because it's what made us successful. And this is what it means to throw out that playbook and say, okay, we are going to do something different. The true leadership of today demands courage, creativity, and the audacity to imagine what's possible. So that's why you need to throw out your old playbook. The second aspect of this visionary mindset is to have radical curiosity. This is the foundation of visionary thinking. At the heart of every groundbreaking idea is a leader who asks the right questions. And if you listen to this podcast often, you know I am a huge proponent of asking questions. Curiosity is such an important trait. It shows that you are intelligent, it shows that you are humble, it shows that you are creative, and that you are really trying to anticipate solving these tough problems and understanding how everything fits together. Radical curiosity is the relentless drive to explore, to question, to discover, and it is the fuel of innovation. So consider Elon Musk's question of why isn't humanity actively preparing to live on Mars? I don't necessarily think that living on Mars is a great idea. We could spend so much money trying to figure out how to colonize Mars that we could actually just put that money into figuring out climate change and making the planet more livable here. But you have to appreciate that he has this big vision that we could someday live on Mars. Or you could take Sarah Blakely, who is the founder of Spanx, who asked the simple yet transformative question of why can't women have shapewear that's comfortable? And she sold her company for $1 billion a couple of years ago. These leaders dared to challenge the norms and they built empires by exploring the answers to these questions. Asking better questions is what will ignite your leadership potential. Instead of asking, how do we stay competitive? Try asking, what would make our competition irrelevant? And that is a question that I love. I call it widening the moat. How do we make sure that no one can catch up to us? How do we create the category and be at the top of the category? We don't want to be followers. If you're a category king or, as I say, a category queen, or you're leading the way, it makes it really hard for anyone to catch up to you, and you set the rules. So ask different questions, not how do we stay competitive? It's what would make our competition irrelevant. That's radical curiosity. The third aspect of visionary leadership is having the courage to unlearn. You have to let go of what no longer serves you. And this is so true in so many realms. It's not just in business, but it is in life too. We hang on to belief systems that no longer work for us, and it holds us back. Visionary leadership requires us to be humble enough to admit that your knowledge is outdated, that the way that you are running your business or leading your team, it needs to be revamped. And this isn't easy, especially for high achievers. We want to feel successful. And when we have to unlearn something or let go of something, it can feel really uncomfortable. But it is essential to adapting to rapid change. Now, I love this. I am constantly pushing myself to grow and to learn. But just these past few months, I have embarked on learning all kinds of new things that make me feel uncomfortable. So I'll give you a couple of examples. I brought two new board members onto the Stone Age board who are absolutely brilliant and who are pushing me to think about things in a different way. Can it feel uncomfortable at times? Absolutely. But oh, that challenge is so good. It's what keeps me at the top of my game. I am implementing a new strategy and revamping how we think about going to market, about how we do category creation. And even though it's not radically different, it is an entirely different approach. And I have to unlearn what I've been doing for the past 5 years to set us up for the future to really think about strategy in a completely different way. I took a painting class and I have no idea how to paint, and my painting didn't turn out that bad. I'm going to hold it up here for those of you who have not seen it. I did a post on all my social media accounts about this. I'm learning how to knit. I'm learning how to play golf, which of course is like one of the most difficult things to do. And I have to unlearn so many things. I have to unlearn, I can't do that. I'm not a painter. I'm not an artist. I'm not a knitter. I'm not a golfer. Unlearning is such a freeing experience, even though it can be incredibly challenging to do so. So, how do you do this? You need to start by questioning your long held assumptions. You can ask questions like, is our business model aligned with where the world is going or where it's been? Are we prioritizing efficiency at the cost of innovation? And what beliefs about our customers, employees, or our market needs to evolve? Unlearning frees you to see opportunities where others see obstacles. It also frees you to get out of the mindset of, well, we've always done it this way, or this is what made us successful. Why would we stop doing it? Embrace the process of unlearning, not as a loss, but as growth. The fourth aspect of visionary leadership is taking action. So, to cultivate a visionary mindset, you have to begin by articulating your impossible dream. How do we make the impossible possible? A goal so big that it feels out of reach. This exercise will force you to think beyond just your current constraints and ignite that creative potential. So, ours is to have working industrial cleaning automation in every heavy industrial manufacturing facility worldwide by 2040. This is big. And I have the word working in there because we want people to be using it, not that they just bought it and then they leave it off to the side because it's too complicated or we haven't supported it properly. It's global, it's every single plant. Right? It is a big, bold vision. It changes everything about our company. And it is driving our strategy, it's driving our growth, and it's really important for you to do the same thing. So, how do you do it? Well, first, you need to envision the future. What do you think the future is going to look like? What's one transformative change that you would like to see in your industry or community or organization by 2030 or 2040? Then you need to recognize the barriers. What makes this dream feel impossible today? Third, you need to reframe the obstacles. Instead of accepting these as barriers, ask what needs to change to make these possible. How do we turn these barriers or obstacles into opportunities? And then finally, take a bold step. You just have to commit to a single action, however small, that moves you towards this dream. Small steps add up over time, and you really have to be focused on this. If you want to succeed in making your bold vision, your bold dream come to fruition, then you are going to have to let go of other things. Number 5 is to embrace the unknown. We don't know what the future is going to hold. Anybody who tells you what anything is going to be the next minute, the next hour, the next year, the next decade, they just don't know. Of course, we can learn so much from history. We can learn so much from the way that we used to do things and from studying. But the reality is, we do not know how the future is going to unfold. So when you are on your path to becoming a visionary leader, just remember that it's not about having all the answers. It's about having the courage to explore the unknown, to say, I don't know what the outcome is going to be. This is my best guess of what the future could look like, and here's how I think we can get there. The leaders of tomorrow are those who are willing to venture beyond the limits and experiment boldly and inspire others to see new possibilities. So, as you move into 2025, ask yourself these questions. Am I leading with boldness? Am I leading with curiosity? Am I leading with vision? Or am I clinging to the comfort of the past? The answer to this question will define your future. So I hope this first part of this series helps inspire you to be that visionary leader, to really ask these tough questions, to think about what your industry and your company is going to look like in the future, to ask those questions about how do we not do the things that we've always done that have made us successful? How do we reimagine our future where technology is driving so much of what we do today, where societal shifts are going to change priorities and impact us, and how we can make a huge difference in the world? Next up in the series is the power of human connection in a tech-driven world. And I hope you tune in where we will explore how to develop authentic relationships and why authentic relationships drive innovation, loyalty, and resilience in an increasingly automated world. This is so incredibly important because technology is going to make our lives so much better, but we have to work really hard to remember our humanity, to connect with each other. We are all in this together, despite what anybody tells you, we are. And leaders need to pull people together so that we can really drive a better future forward, not just for ourselves, but also for our children. I look forward to seeing you next week. And as always, if you like this podcast, please share it with a friend, write a review, subscribe to it on YouTube or on your favorite podcast channel. I always appreciate comments and I appreciate you sharing. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.